a good retirement. That's the good life. That's the American dream. And for far too many people, it's out of reach. But we know that perhaps no force has been more proactive in delivering access to that American dream than the men and women of organized labor, decade after decade after decade. Why would Donald Trump and Republicans focus, Mr. Speaker, on targeting hardworking public employees, targeting unions, and targeting the men and women of organized labor? Is it because my Republican colleagues are too consumed with enacting massive tax breaks for your billionaire donors, which is what the one big ugly bill was all about, but have zero interest in lifting up the quality of life of hardworking American taxpayers, including, but not limited to, the men and women of our federal workforce? It was my understanding, Mr. Speaker, that my Republican colleagues believed in freedom. Well, collective bargaining essentially is the freedom to negotiate the best possible work environment to allow these public employees to continue to deliver services that are effective and efficient for the American people. And yet, instead of focusing on driving down the high cost of living in America, which is out of control, yes, there is an affordability crisis in the United States of America, notwithstanding the fact, Mr. Speaker, that Donald Trump apparently believes it's a hoax. The American people know it's not a hoax. Instead of focusing on trying to find common sense solutions to make life better for the American people, Donald Trump and my Republican colleagues continue to just jam their extreme ideology down the throats of the American people while working overtime to benefit your billionaire donors. That's why I'm thankful for this bipartisan effort to restore collective bargaining rights for more than 1 million public servants who are part of the federal government. And I urge a yes vote. Do the right thing by the federal workforce. Do the right thing by the men and women of organized labor. And do the right thing when it comes to ensuring that everyone has a path to experiencing the American dream. I yield back.
Gentleman from New York yields. The gentleman from California reserves. The gentleman from Kentucky is recognized.
That was a long minute, Mr. Speaker, for the leader of the Democrat Party to advocate for more work-from-home policies from our federal employees. I think the American people have spoken loud and clear. They support our federal employees like the Republican Party, but we expect them to show up for work, not get paid from home and not be accessible by phone or by computer or by email. And that's what we heard from the leader of the Democrat Party. I reserve my time.
Gentleman from Kentucky reserves. Gentleman from California is recognized.
Thank you. I yield a minute and a half to Representative Krishnamurthy.
Gentleman from Illinois is recognized for 1.5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today in strong support of H.R. 2550. This bipartisan bill reverses an illegal executive order that stripped collective bargaining rights from roughly 67% of the federal workforce, so more than 2/3 of the federal workforce. Removing their limited bargaining rights does not improve efficiency. It threatens the integrity of our civil service. These rights exist for one essential reason: to shield federal employees from political pressure so they serve the American people, not the agenda of any one president or political party. No worker should have to take a political loyalty test to receive or keep his or her job. The Protect America's Workforce Act restores a balanced, targeted framework that respects national security while reaffirming the rights of those who serve us. I urge all members to support this legislation and restore these protections for over 1 million federal workers. Again, this particular legislation is about no political loyalty tests having to be administered to workers in the federal government. They are accountable to the American people. I yield back.
Gentleman from Illinois yields. Gentleman from California reserves. Chair recognizes the gentleman from Kentucky.
Reserve.
Gentleman from Kentucky reserves. Gentleman from California are recognized.
Thank you. I'd like to yield 1 minute to Representative Randall.
The lady from Washington is recognized for 1 minute.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker, and thank you, Ranking Member Garcia, Congressman Golden, for the opportunity